Namah Shri Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine Swamine Tapaharine.
Namaste. We will start. So we are continuing from where we left yesterday. So we were discussing about the Utpatti Bhedas of the Dravyas used in Ayurveda. Are you able to see my screen? So we discussed that in Ayurveda, everything under the sun, the entire biodiversity is utilized. So we saw Sushruta saying, Nadishu Shaileshu, I explained that yesterday. Charaka also points out a little later in this chapter, Oshadhir Namarupabhyam Janate Hyajapavane Avipascheva Gopaschaya Chanyevanacharina. So he says that people are well versed with this biodiversity. But it's not even enough to know their properties. We need to know how to use them. Yukti Jnana is the most important. So just knowing their name and form or the properties alone is not enough. So that we will discuss a little later. But today, that richness of Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia, which is as vast and infinite as the biodiversity. So if you ask how many medicinal sources are there in Ayurveda, we can say the whole of Earth's biodiversity is a source of Ayurvedic medicines. That is the spirit. So there is a story of Jivaka. I think I may have mentioned this. When he finished his studies, his preceptor, Punarvasuratre or Bhikshuratreya, yes, asked him to and his colleagues to get out into the world and search for plants that have no medicinal value. And only Jivaka returned empty-handed, saying he couldn't find any plant without medicinal value. And the teacher said, "You are the only one who passes my course. The rest have to continue for some more time." So Tatpanas Trividham Proktam Jangama Udbhida Parthivam Madhuni Gorasaha Pittam Vasa Majjam Asargamisham Vinmutra Charma Retosthi Snayu Shringa Nakhaha Kuraha Jangamebhya Prayujyande Kesha Lomani Rochanaha. So these are all the sources, animal sources of medicines used in Ayurveda. Madhuni Gorasaha Pittam Vasa Majjasragamisham Vinmutra Charma Retosthi Snayu Shringa Nakha Kuraha Jangamebhya Prayujyande Kesha Lomani Lochanaha. So what are these? You can see honey is an animal product, then milk, then bile, then animal fat, vasa, majja, bone marrow, blood, asrik, amisham, flesh, Vindmutra, excrements, the fecal matter, urine. Today, do you know one medicine is developed from horse's urine? Have you heard of that? Modern medicine is also. See, we are only looking at chemicals. So, cow's urine has become a big controversy. So, a very popular medicine called Primarin. This is one of the most prescribed drugs in the United States. So if in India it's cow's urine, in the United States it is horse's urine. Urine of the pregnant horse, pregnant mares. So estrogen replacement drug Primarin is prescribed to menopausal women, and it is from the. So urine may also have its properties. So we use everything. Probably it's not to be taken as it can be processed. We can isolate the chemicals, but Ayurveda says medicine can be found everywhere. Semen, bone, ligaments, horns, nails, hoof, hair, the fine, soft, dense hair also, kesha, lomani, and then insipated bile, rochana. Go rochana is very famous. In Ayurveda, we make medicines with that. So these are all the various substances that we use from animal sources. Is that clear? So these are animal origin drugs. So you can see it's wide sources from honey to rochana. Then somebody's microphone is switched on. Goresa is all the milk and animal products from cow, including milk and milk products. Vina gorasam koraso bhojananam. That was the Indian culture. Vina goraso koraso bhojananam. Without gorasa, rochana is bile salt. The bile that is hardened, it is from cow's bile. It's called gorochana. It's yellowish and it is very good for fever. Ayurveda has a very important medicine called Gorochana Tigudika. So Gorasa is milk, curds, buttermilk, everything that we use. In India, every meal has some Gorasa. When you are having breakfast, you may take some milk. When you are having lunch, you will have some curds or buttermilk. There is no time where we don't use it. That's why that statement has come. Yes. Non-vegetarian is permitted, Swamiji. We have one Ahara Varga is Drava, Dravya, and then Anna Swarupa. Anna Swarupa, we have Shimbi, that is Shukadhanya, Shamidhanya. Then we have Mamsa Varga, then Shaka Varga, Phala Varga, Harita Varga. So one of the Vargas of Ahara in Ayurveda is Mamsa Varga. So everything is recommended, but as it is told in Kama Shastra, Rasavirya Vipakahi Shwamamsasyapi Vaidyage Kirtitam Idi Tatkim Syad Sevitavyam Manishivi. Ayurveda being a Arogya Shastra is telling the properties of everything, whatever humans are eating. It doesn't mean that Ayurveda is sanctioning it all. Suppose they looked at the global scenario and they found that people were eating so many kinds of things. So they wrote down the properties of all the meat. Because if a patient eats some meat and comes, I must know its properties, otherwise I cannot treat that person. So just because all the meat is described, because Ayurveda says for mental health, Nivritta Amisha Madhyo Yo Hitarthi Pretya Chehacha. Nijagandu Bhirunmade. So, Nivritta Amisha Madhya, by abstaining from meat as well as alcohol. Nivritta Amisha Madhya. Yo Hitarthi, if you are a Hitarthi, then you have to avoid this for mental health. Yes, people keep saying, as humans, we can use our intelligence, and so this extreme naturalism, extreme, synthetic approaches, all are, you have to balance. Sarva dharmeshu, the madhyama, as Vagbhada says. Let us not go to extremes. Everything is good and bad according to Ayurveda. Milk also, we say it is good and it is bad. If you use it judiciously, it can. So some of the arguments against milk is that it is actually the food for cows, the young ones of the cows. Humans are not meant to eat it. If you ask that way, we are not meant to eat so many things. We are not meant to do so many things. We are doing artificially. We are using our intelligence. Because humans have intelligence, so cooking is also not natural. No other animal cooks. So once I heard a doctor, allopathic doctor, telling no other animal eats milk of other animals. So do you say
it is 14 is what? Tomorrow. Yes, 14.
I think Kalyana Krishnan ji's microphone is unmuted.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we are hearing many things. Thank you. So, doctors are saying, then should we become animals? Then we can go back into the forest and not drink any other milk, but start hunting, get out. We don't do that. See, sitting, more harmful than drinking milk is sitting in concrete buildings that nobody is willing to give up. So many things we are doing which are bad. So why this big deal about milk? Yes, milk is harmful today. If our digestion is not good, our milk is like poison, Ayurveda says. And the way milk is supposed to be taken fresh. Actually, milk is not designed to even get exposed to the atmosphere. It goes directly from the udder to the mouth of the child. That is why Krishna is seen to go under the cow and drink directly. Because milk is not supposed to, the more you keep milk, the more it becomes harmful. Dharoshnam Amritopamam. Ayurveda very clearly says that what milk is best, Dharoshnam, the milk that is coming directly in, immediately if you drink it, that is the best. The more you keep it, it becomes poison. Today people want to sell and make money out of milk. So we are taking only stored milk. That is one problem. Then we homogenize it, we chemically alter it. That is another problem. Then the problem with milk today is that, cows have to be grazing in the sun and they should be eating grass. Today they are all kept inside. We are growing them to extract milk from them. We are not bothered about the life. So Krishna, see, there is a vitamin in cow's milk called vitamin K2, which is very important for calcium to get absorbed into the system. So I call this vitamin as vitamin Krishna. because Krishna told us how to graze the cows. Take it out into the sun, make it eat grass, and then you steal the milk and drink it. It is beneficial. So he was pointing out what is the quality of milk, how the milk should be, how the cow should be taken care of. And then when you use those milk products, it gives you health. Otherwise, no. So today, why milk is harmful is many factors are there. Then another thing is the native cows, which give you what is called as A2 milk, which is a different protein in the milk. A1 protein is said to be more allergenic. So most of the new type of cows which are genetically engineered, these which were engineered to produce more milk, they are harmful. So we have to study all this with a balanced approach. Ayurveda says milk is good and bad. In certain situations it's good, certain situations it's bad. But today we are looking at milk just for calcium, protein, and then we keep drinking it without looking at the condition of our bodies, whether it is appropriate to take it or not. So my understanding is that everything in the world, Ayurveda says, as humans, because we have intelligence, we can use anything. Anything can be used. As food, as medicine, it's very open. Ayurveda is not like vegan or natural. No. Kritrimam is also a word used in Ayurveda. Anything we can use, but everything in the right context and in the right place. That is the concept in Ayurveda. That's why, as I said, Sarva Dharmeshu Madhyavam, don't go to extremes. Extreme naturalism, extreme veganism, extreme vegetarianism, complete carnivalism, complete that kind of approach Ayurveda says is not for humans. We have to navigate in a diplomatic way in this world. So we have been given the intelligence, so we will keep using it, but we must be careful. So milk should be used judiciously. And if you study Ayurvedic principles, we can know when to use it, when not to use it. When you have indigestion or when you have ama or a disturbed metabolism in your body, you should never touch milk. In most diseases where modern doctors are telling drink milk for energy, Ayurveda would say no. If your gut is disturbed, then milk is a no. So if you take all these factors into consideration and then use milk in a judicious way, then I don't think it should be creating much of a problem. That's what I have understood.
Actually, doctors prescribe whey protein, especially for elders.
Yes.
So, is it really recommended?
No, whey protein is very heavy. Only if you are doing very heavy workouts, and then only it is necessary actually. So if you do very heavy workout, then if you are taking whey protein, it is good. Otherwise, not really necessary. These kind of protein powders and all that, you have to be a little careful, because I've seen many of these people who are working out and taking these kind of proteins, their health is not so good.
Okay, in case of elders,
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think there are other better sources. I've never recommended whey protein for elderly people. Other sources are better. According to Ayurveda, even taking moong dal is a very good, chickpea. These are all very good sources of protein. And since they are not doing very heavy physical activity, I wouldn't recommend whey protein. That's basically for athletic, people who do very heavy workouts and all that, because it is for muscle building basically. Old people also have sarcopenia. As you age, your muscle mass will reduce. So it's very. Grida also should not be used in ama. Pakveshu dosheshu amritam. Tad vishopamam anyatha. Grida giving in ama is like poison. So Ayurveda never says everything is absolute, nothing is absolutely good. Even ghee is harmful. Pakveshu dosheshu amritam tad vishopamam anyatha. It is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So these are the Jangama substances which are mentioned first, and which does not mean that Ayurveda is giving any preference for it. As I told, Nivrta Mishamadyoyo. So Nivrittamisha Madhyoyo Hitashi Pritya Chehacha Nijagandu Birunmadeir Sattvavan Nasa Yujyate. So if you are a Sattvavan, to improve your Sattva Guna, to prevent mental problems especially, you have to avoid meat and alcohol. So it is said that especially if you want goodness in the not only in the present but also the future life, then it is better to refrain from meat and alcohol. Then we have the next is the the Bhauma Aushadhaha. Suvarnam Samalaha Panchalohaha Sasikataha Sudha Manashilale Manayo Levanam Gairi Kanjane Bhaumam Aushadham Uddishtam. So these are the Bhauma Aushadhas. The Bhauma Aushadhas are gold, yes, see, it's all dependent. If you are a very pitta person, then milk will also cause virechana, and milk is better for vata people. Some people have lactose intolerance. Kshirojitasya. So in Ayurveda it is mentioned Kshirojitasya prakshina sleshmano daha tridvadaha. Kshiram pittanilartasya pathyam apyathisarinaha. So for in certain conditions, milk is very good. In other places, milk is to be avoided. So Kshirojitaha. First is you should be at Kshirojita. Uchita Kshiro yasya sa Kshirojita. Means you should not have any milk intolerance. If you have milk intolerance, you are at Kshira Anuchita. Right? So Ayurveda, good clinicians will check whether you are Kshirojita or not. Everybody cannot have milk. So Kshirojidasya. If your kapha is very much decreased, then you are fit for taking milk. So it is best to take milk when kapha is down. In the evening time is good. Many times people give milk to children after they come back from play. But too much late in the night also sometimes we give. We have to look at Agni. Because if milk undergoes indigestion, it can cause a lot of problems. So you have to make sure when you take milk, it is well digested. For this reason, some people take it in the morning also, because then the digestion is good throughout the day and the milk is likely to get digested. But Ayurveda does not say hard and fast rules. It is according to condition you have to choose. But you need good Agni and not much ama in your system if you want to get benefit from milk. Kshirojidasya prakshina sleshmano daha tridvadaha. If you are feeling heat in your system and very much thirsty and burning. Kshiram pittanilartasya. If you are suffering from an increase of pitta and vata, that is when milk is best useful. So everything has a condition and situation where it is useful. So the condition where you must drink milk is different from the condition. Milk you take in pitta vata condition, whereas ghee you take in vata pitta condition. So Suvarnam, gold. Gold, according to Ayurveda, is a very powerful immunomodulator and very protecting the body from aging. That is why women, yes. So Bhavana is asking, I told already that night also you can take milk, but if you have good digestion, when you have really severe indigestion, milk has tryptophan, which is helping in serotonin, melatonin, all those things which will induce sleep. If you want to, milk can increase cholesterol. See, cholesterol is coming due to errors in metabolism. Even if you don't take, now they are saying that dietary cholesterol is not the reason. If you are taking, milk increases cholesterol through the process of AMA. If the milk you are taking is not properly assimilated, digested, and burnt, then it can cause cholesterol. Otherwise, no. So you just by stress you can increase cholesterol in your system. They did a study in monkeys. They had two groups of monkeys. They did a cruel experiment. Actually, they took the mates of some monkeys and made that to be with other males, and made these male monkeys to watch their mates sitting with other male monkeys. This is very stressful for monkeys. So they became so stressed that in spite of a very healthy diet, the monkeys which got separated from their mates and had to watch their mates being with other males, their cholesterol levels shot up like anything without any dietary problem. So it is found that it is not just from diet that cholesterol comes. Stress plays a very big role, because many stress hormones and all are created by cholesterol. Your liver will create all these things irrespective of dietary cholesterol. So now they are telling even eggs are not harmful. That is, in terms of cholesterol, eating one egg a day and all that is said to be not harmful if you're having a good lifestyle. So the question whether this contains cholesterol or not is not such a big deal now. More harmful are trans fats, what you call overcooked fats. When you are cooking oil, you should not recook it, which is the biggest problem with Indians, like a lot of fried foods. And this is very, very harmful, because that oil keeps getting cooked again and again, heated again and again. This leads to formation of trans fats, and these trans fats are pro-inflammatory and very, very bad. Comparatively, coconut oil and ghee are more heat resistant. Probably that is why in India we used ghee and coconut oil for deep frying, not other types of oil. These two fats are more heat resistant. So there is an article by a cardiologist from Sir Gangaram Hospital. So I will just share that article. Just a minute. So selecting healthy oil in the Indian context. S.C. Manchanda. So if you look at this article, I will show what is the gist of it. Yes. Let me share it. Yeah, are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so selecting healthy edible oil in the Indian context. So here is the link I'm sharing in the chat. So he's a senior consultant cardiologist at Sir Gangaram Hospital, New Delhi. So what he says is that, let us look at the conclusions. In the global context, Indian cooking conditions differ greatly since oils are often subjected to rather high temperature. As stir frying is a routine process in every curry or other similar preparations. As a result, exposure to high temperatures not only destroys antioxidants like vitamin E and beta carotene, but also produces toxic compounds that may potentially be mutagenic and atherogenic. It is advisable to avoid refined oils since during the refining process, oils are heated to high temperatures, resulting in the degradation and generation of toxic substances. On the contrary, oils high in saturated fats like ghee, coconut oil can be used for Indian cooking as they are comparatively stable during frying. So even though they are having saturated fatty acids, because they have short medium chain saturated fatty acids like coconut oil, they are not having adverse side effects. Also mustard oil in its non-refined form. So you can see Indian cooking has preferred these oils, and today scientific studies are showing epidemiologic studies amongst Indians do suggest that mustard oil consumption, especially in the North Indian, in the North India, is actually helping these preventing these things. Generally, in my opinion, oil is to be added in the last stage of cooking. It's better not to cook oil much if you want the benefits of oil. Oil is very much needed in your body because our internal fluids, it's a mixture of oil and water, hydro and lipid. Many things are lipid, and it's like water and lipid to fat. If you mix water and oil together, how it is, that is how our plasma is inside. So when you take substances, some of them are hydrophilic, some of them are lipophilic, some of them have affinity, they dissolve in the water part, some others dissolve in the oil part. So if you look at our body, inside our fluid is like oil and water mixed together. So we need both. But the problem is, through the process of cooking, we damage the oils and then they are harming our system. So when you are cooking, like for example, vegetables, many people, what they do is first they put the oil, then the onion, and then they, fry it, stir fry it, and then they put the vegetables, and then they're all fried together. So the oil gets fried for a long time. This is harmful. On the other hand, if you boil the vegetables first, and once a vegetable is boiled, at the end, if you pour a little oil and then, mix it and take it off from then you get the benefit of the vegetable as well as the oil. So in olden time, and another thing is refining the oils. All these things are refined so that they stay in the shops for a longer time. That has caused harm to all this oil. Olden times, they used to, every home had a oil pounding machine. They would make oil at home. It would be fresh, it would be kept, and by the time it becomes bad, it goes bad, it would have been used. So that practice is completely gone. Today we are using refined oils, chemically treated oils, hydrogenated oils. These are the problems. So I hope this article I shared, and yeah, so you can have a look at it. So let's go back.
Hello,
Yes.
Guruji. CHD means
Huh?
CHD risk. এখানে
What was it? CHD, coronary heart disease.
আচ্ছা
Coronary heart disease.
Guruji, another thing about milk. Nowadays, we feed our cows the hormonal compound to increase or to produce a higher amount or a higher liter of milk. As a result of which, when we drink milk, extra hormone creates huge number of disease. But I'd like to know that our 5 Sahasram, Pancha Sahasram years ago, it was also basically not milk.
I didn't fully understand your question. We were using different breeds of cows. Like in Gujarat, there is what is called as the Gir cow. So cows are having, a Surya Ketu Nadi. So it has to get exposed to the sun, the Surya Ketu Nadi. Then only the quality of the milk will be good. So Gir cows are even now, this Gir cow ghee is available. In Kerala, there is a special breed called Nechur cow. In Kottayam district, it is there. So these Vedic breeds were supposed to be very good and healthy, and these ghees were used for the yagas and other things. So now, for all the reasons that you mentioned, also the feeding has changed. They are being injected with hormones. The whole idea is produce more and more milk and sell and make money. And after the cows stop giving milk, then butcher them and eat their meat. We prohibited from killing a cow because we respected it. That's all. There's nothing big deal about it. See, what do you call somebody who gives you his breast milk? We'll call that person mother, is it not? That's the only reason we call cow as mother. There's no big religious deal about it. We respect it because that cow is giving its milk to us. So it is like mother for us. That's all. Why we tell that? So that we don't, we have to give something back to the cow in return. We give that respect. What is so big about it? What is so religious about it? It is just a humanistic gesture. You are giving us your milk, so we worship you like our own mother, Go Mata. That is human culture. And not take all the milk and then cut the throat of the cow and eat the meat also. You will not do that to our mothers, is it not? We respect our mothers because we are fed out of their breast milk. They are from their own body, they are producing the nutrition for us. So we have to that is the only thing there. Ayurveda has described the properties of beef also. It's very good for Vata Vyadhis, but regular eating can create a lot of diseases. It has been mentioned. So there is no taboo against anything. It's a Vaidya Shastra, so it has mentioned it. But from Dharma Shastra point of view, we have to respect the cow. That is the concept. So that is all gone today. That is why cow's milk, it has just become a commodity. It has just become a milk producing machine and meat producing machine. So after milk, meat. So that's a sad thing. So milk's quality has been reduced. Even the meat that we are eating is polluted with chemicals and all those things. I hope that is clear.
গুরুজি ধন্যবাদ।
So Suvarnam Samalaha Panchalohaha. So then is the Panchaloha. The Panchalohas are silver, copper, tin, lead, and iron. These are also used in Ayurveda. Yeah, milk, ghee is used in sacrifice. That is, you don't have to go to ghee and sacrifice. If you drink somebody's milk, you have to respect that person as your mother. That is a simple thing. Already the biggest sacrifice has been done by the cow, depriving its own, and also our system was after the calf has taken its milk, what remains only we must take. That's why every house had its own cow in those days. It was like a family member. The calf was also taken care of. Even my young days, my ancestral home, there was a, yeah, the Samalaha means, I'm coming to that. These are like Shilajatu. The about 6 types of Shilajatu are mentioned in Ayurveda. Sushruta, 4 of them are having Rasayana property also. Shilajit, I'm sure you have heard, it is widely marketed today, but we have to be very careful. All of them are not having good properties. So they are said to be the Malas. So some Shilajadu dominating in gold, some in copper, some in tin, some in lead. So Suvarnam Samalaha Panchaloha. So I hope everybody has heard of Shilajadu. It is called sometimes in English as bitumen. Punjab Shilajadu is very, very said to be very good. From the Rocky Mountains, there is an exudate. So that is considered as the Mala of the Lohas. Now, when it comes to Swarna, according to Ayurveda, it is very anti-inflammatory, immunomodulatory. It slows down aging, and that is why in India women were asked to wear gold. But this has become a big social evil now. All women, girls are expected to amass a lot of gold to give to their husbands. That was not the purpose. Why a woman was asked to wear gold is to slow down their aging and preserve their youthhood. Because a woman loses the artava, or the pitta is hyperactive in a woman, so they age faster. The menopause they attain much earlier than a man loses his fertility. Aging is faster. That is the reason why the age gap was also made between male and female. That in marriage, the male is little older and female is little younger. It is because of the aging process, the reproduction. A woman attains, reproductive maturity, and childbearing age ends much faster than a male. So all these things have, so giving a woman wearing gold. Today gold is all kept in the bank. I don't know if by keeping gold in the bank whether a woman's body will be benefited. If it is worn only, it will get benefited. If you wear so much gold today, hands, legs, heads, everything will be chopped off and people will run away with that gold. So it is today, it doesn't make any sense. In olden days, that was how gold was considered. So wearing golden ornaments was also a health practice, not a sign of richness or luxury or this thing. It was for self-protection. All ornaments were malya dharanam, mani dharanam. All these are part of Daiva Vyapasraya Chikitsa. So gold was also used in that way. Different metals are having different actions when you wear them also. So Suvarnam is mentioned in the Madhurya Rasa Varga, Suvarnam and Ghridam. So in amongst the metals, gold is the most supreme. Even today we are using internally Suvarna Bhasma. It has to be prepared very carefully and taken. Swarna Prashana is given for young children to boost their immunity. When people recover from illnesses, Swarna Bhasma is administered. Many neurological conditions, it is helpful. And when in Jangama or the animal products, actually what is most useful is ghee. Honey is also a super medicine for kapha especially. And then we have 2 types of arsenic, red and yellow arsenic, which is Manashila and Haratala. Now, these were used in Ayurveda, and Thalaka Bhasma is there, which is used in bronchial asthma and all that, but sometimes it's a bit heating. I've tried it when I had asthma. I mentioned earlier, one of the medicines I tried from a Siddha physician was Thalaka Bhasma. but it gave me a lot of body heat issues and I stopped it. Finally, it was Agastya Rasayana and such other medicines that actually helped. So some of these medicines, if you're not very careful. I have also swallowed mercury in a challenge done by a Siddha physician. So it is more than 30-40 years now, nothing has happened. It was given in a betel leaf mixed with, it was just raw mercury, which actually, see, it is in its compound form that mercury is absorbed if there is a wound and things like that. And mercury sulfide is actually the least harmful. So that is why in Ayurveda we convert mercury into sulfide before we use. So interestingly, you can see here the Rasa Shastra metal, the most important rasa metals are not mentioned here in Charaka. So this is predating the Rasa Shastra Siddha system. So you can see that something which we have to notice here, Suvarnam Samalaha Panchalohaha, it doesn't include mercury. Sulfur is also missing here. So that is, in this period, it is very clear that Rasa Shastra, as we know, did not exist. They did not use too many mineral preparations. So Manashilale, Sasikataha is sand, Sudha is, various shells which give like calcium carbonate, conch shell and others. We make lime. Manashilale, red and yellow arsenic. And then Manayo, the various gems were there in Charaka's time. All the gems were used, but not mercury. Lavanam, salts, different types of salts are mentioned. Gairika is red ochre. It is a kind of mud. So we have it in many Ayurvedic medicines. And Anjana, that is antimony. So these are the mineral substances that are used in Ayurvedic treatment. Then we come to the plants. Bhaumam aushadam uddhishtam outbhidam tu chaturvidham. The plant origin. Okay, so it is a modern medicine may not be able to fully understand it, but it is the gunas. Ayurveda talks about it as the gunas. So gold, if you wear gold on your body, it can calm down excess pitta in the system because of its properties. There is no magic here. Ayurveda tells it is because of its properties only. Properties which are cooling and balancing. Snigdha guna, Shita virya, that is gold is mentioned like that. So the exact mechanisms, the loha names are silver, copper, tin, lead and iron. Rajata, Tamra, Vanga, Naga and Ayas. I will read it. Rajata, Tamra, Vanga, Naga, Ayas. Is that clear? So I'll write the English also. Silver. Naga is lead. Silver, copper, tin, lead and iron. Suvarnam Samalaha Panchaloha Saksikataha Sudha Manashilale Manayo Lavanam Gairiganjane Bhauma Maushatam Uddishtam Outbhidam tu Chaturvitham. The plant origin medicines are of 4 types. So plants are classified into 4. Vanaspatis Tatha Virud Vanaspatyas Tathaushati. 4 types of plant kingdom has been divided into 4. There is this, Loha Vedham, in which lower metals are transmuted into gold. It's called alchemy. I am not so familiar. There was Nagarjuna who said, Siddhe rase karishyami nirdaridryamidam jagat. By transmuting rasa into gold, I will eradicate poverty from this earth. Siddhe rase karishyami nirdaridryamidam jagat. So I have heard of that. I have no experience. I have not seen anybody doing it. That art and science seems to have been lost, or maybe it was imagination. I do not know. So there is Deha Veda and Loha Veda. Ayurveda has focused on Deha Veda. Deha Veda means from our weak, frail body, making it strong so that you can use it for your tapas. Today, our body is weak. Every other day, we get a sneeze or a cold or a fever. There's no time to do dhyana or japa. We go on taking care of your body with one disease or the other. So our acharyas wanted to find out how to get a strong and healthy body. And so they found out that just like the lower metals can be transformed into higher metals, similarly, your human body can also undergo what is called Deha Veda. Loha Veda is so you become a strong Siddha Sharira. So such Siddhas, their purpose was spiritual, making their body fit for all this concept of health in the Indian tradition. As you see in Ayurveda, Siddha was all not to remove diseases so that we can enjoy life and indulge in all pleasures as we do today. We go back to the rat race. We want to make more money, we want to enjoy. Our acharyas say sharira madhyam khalu dharma sadhanam. So we need a healthy body. Dharmarthakama mokshanam arogyam moolam uttamam yogas tasyapahartara sreyaso jivitasya. So we have to remove the disease so that we can tread the spiritual path. That was the ancient concept. So there are 4 types of plants. Vanaspatis tatha virud, vanaspatyas tathaushati, phalair vanaspatihi, pushpair vanaspatya phalairavi. So vanaspatis are those which have only fruits, no flowers. This is like gymnosperms. So you can see they classified plants into gymnosperms and angiosperms. Angiosperms have Vanaspatya Pushpair Phalairabi. They are flowering plants also. They flower and fruit. Whereas gymnosperms have what you can call as only fruits. You cannot see the differentiation between flowers and fruits. So that is Vanaspati and Vanaspatya. Aushadhaya Phalapakanta. Then we have the plants which either they are herbs, they have a very short life cycle. When they become mature, they will wither away, or after they flower and fruit, they will die away. So these are herbs. And then we have the creepers, that is the virud. Virudhar prathanehi, the climbing weak-stemmed plants. Those are so these are 4 major. Yes, I explained already about gold, and we don't know the exact mechanism. Ayurveda says it is by their gunas, because gold has guna which is very similar to the Shita Snigdha Kapha gunas of the body. If you wear that, how exactly is that mechanism? I have not fully understood. I'm still working on it. Internally, it is immunomodulatory and all that, but by the purpose of wearing what they had in mind, that I explained today. The mechanism is not so clear. Astrology, maybe. it's also based in Ayurveda. We have some ideas about doshik. It is Tridosha Hara. It keeps everything in your body under check. But how simply wearing can bring about these effects, I've still not fully understood. So I'm sorry, I do not know more than this. So we are coming to the end of our discussion today, and we will conclude with what are the parts that we use in a plant. Again, you can see so many parts are used. Moolatvaksara niryasa nala swarasa pallavaha क्षारा क्षीरम फलम पुष्पम भस्मदैलानि कंटकाः पत्राणि शुंगा खंदाश्च प्ररोहाश्च उद्भिदो गुणाः. So what are all used? Roots are used, bark is used, pith is used, exudation is used, stalk is used, juice is used, sprouts are used, alkalis are used, latex, fruits, flowers, ash, oil, thorns, leaves, buds, bulbs, offshoots of the plants. All these things are used as medicine. And we have to find out which part of a plant has potency. All parts may not be. So some plants, roots are potent. Some plants, leaves are more useful. So for example, if you take tulsi, we use the leaves. If you take dashamula, all the roots are used in that. Right? In amalaki, the fruit is used. So for different plants, different parts are effective. In some plants like snuhi, we use the latex or the milky latex. In some others, we use the exudate resin. Like gugulu, it is the resin which is used. So it is quite fascinating to find out that they were able to distinguish between the properties of various parts and identify them. So these are the whole source of Ayurvedic medicine. So you can see that Ayurveda is very open-ended shastra which accepts the possibility of using the whole biodiversity. But still, Ayurveda advocates a localized approach, global outlook, but local approach. So that we will discuss in the next class. So namaste for today.
स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. रामकृष्णाय ते